my heart, I want a house. I'm ready to be settled in my own house. And it was okay to deplete at that point to pay for Robyn's house. And I'm like, we did for Robyn. We did for Christine. Why can it not be my turn?
You have a considerable amount of debt. You will not get a home loan.
Crap. But you know what? He has a house that he lives in up on the hill with Robyn, and it's really nice. And I have nothing. It would be where I would be forever, stuck.
You're not thinking like an entrepreneur. You're seeing...
I get all that, Kody, but I don't have a house. I want my own house.
So, Sister Wives Season 17 has been extremely revealing for Sister Wives fans because what was so unexpected for so many of us is that little by little we are discovering how much crap that Janelle is putting up with financially from both Robyn and Kody. And we all know Janelle is calm. She's the rational one. But the power couple has pushed her buttons and backed her into a corner where Janelle has had enough. And she's slowly starting to let the truth bombs fly.
Look, Kody has never really been engaged in my housing since we moved here. He was mad when I went from my first rental to my second rental, even though the second rental was much bigger. And he was mad because it wasn't as nice. But you know what? He has a house that he lives in up on the hill with Robyn, and it's really nice.
And what she has revealed to us so far, at least to me, paints a picture of two people taking advantage of, using, and leeching off of a very hardworking woman. And I personally find it appalling what has been done to Janelle. And you know what? We need to go over it all. So are you guys ready? Let me tell you what inspired me to do this video. It's when Janelle, in a recent episode, said this.
I have gotten myself in a very stupid position as far as an independent woman. If I were to leave or want to leave right now, I would have no estate. I have nothing to leave to my kids. My hands are completely tied because everything I have asset-wise has everybody else's name on it too.
I don't know, guys. Doesn't this sound like a woman who is seriously considering her options and maybe is really seriously contemplating leaving and jumping ship, but she now realizes at the last minute that she has been severely bamboozled, and once again, with the two that have the legal playing power is the legally married power couple whose names are pretty much scattered across every single asset. Now we have a lot to dive into in this video, so strap in and get your notepads ready because you know what? You guys need to help me too. Now this is just part one, so I'm gonna need your help and your feedback. So any little tidbits that you guys have read or interviews you've heard, go ahead and put it in the comment section to help fill in the gaps even more. So you know what? Help your girl out, help your people out, and let us know. But this is what I've found so far. And trust me, the more I dug into this story, the more infuriated I became. And to me, when we saw Janelle visibly get frustrated, I think that it's gonna make even more sense to you why she was so enraged by the end of the video. So let's begin. All right, you guys, so we need to start all the way back to the beginning where this whole financial fiasco started, and that was with the housing situation when the Browns had to flee Utah due to the polygamy laws and that they were outed, and they were hell-bent on getting out of Dodge and moving from Utah to Arizona. And even back then, Janelle supposedly was handling all of the finances.
Ever since I've been married, Janelle's always just taking care of the finances. And so I've never really had to pay utility payments or rent. And it is not fun.
And not only did Janelle handle all of the finances, but she also proclaimed that she made more money than the rest of the sister wives.
You know, I mean, through the years, our money has always been divided across the family. I always made more money than the other sister wives.
And you know what? It was a well-known fact that Robyn really needed to clean up her credit because it had been wrecked during her last marriage.
My credit is in horrible shape.
The big issues is that you have a considerable amount of debt. That's really the clock is ticking on that. That continues to kind of grow as time goes on.
I have a bunch of old debt that's in collections from my divorce. I assumed the responsibility of the debt in order to keep the peace in the divorce. I was not able to do anything about it up until now because I was a single mom working before and I couldn't do it then. I didn't have the means to do it.
Marriage. So here's the deal. We all know that eventually even Robyn was able to qualify for the construction loan, and they did. They all indeed lived out their dream, their cul-de-sac fantasy in Vegas. But supposedly and allegedly, there is a lot more to the story. So, as we all know, at this time, Janelle is the main breadwinner. And I believe she was even bringing in more than Kody at the time. So don't quote me on that. It's just an assumption. But here's the part that I want to tell you guys. So this has been buzzing around the blogs for quite a while. Actually, a few years. But this is the first time I'm hearing about it. And once again, you guys, this is all speculation because not one member of the Brown family has confirmed this. So it's interesting. It's all speculation. It's theory. But it's an interesting one. So listen to what our girl LocoVision said about Janelle's financial contribution to the family. And here's what she wrote. I think the only thing that would really rattle Janelle is financial security. Janelle cashed out her 20 years of 401k savings so that the family could start over in Las Vegas. In addition to paying for rentals that were beyond the needs of a couple of wives, Janelle's retirement also funded the startup of My Sister Wives Closet, not the gym Janelle wanted. I think Kody is spending money on nannies, trucks, another convertible, and ordering Postmates the majority of the nights during lockdown. Now Janelle is realizing everything that is supposed to be hers also has ROBYN'S name on it. So, once again, this is speculation, this is theory, this has not been confirmed by any of the sister wives, but man, if true, Janelle basically saved the family and provided a way of life by paying off ROBYN'S debts, cashing out her 401k to help finance their move to Vegas, and then using half of her proceeds to pay for ROBYN'S McMansion in Flagstaff. And that is a huge amount for a contribution. And for Janelle to be in the situation that she's in now is just horrific. And it's unfair. And of course, with everything going on, guess what ROBYN'S typical response is?
And I know right now we're in a position where we can't pay off that property yet. And I know that that's got to be stressful and frustrating for Janelle. It's frustrating to me as well.
I love how somehow Robyn always circles it back to her and makes it about her. Like, what are you frustrated about, Robyn? You have everything you could ever want and need. You have the soulmate of your dreams, the house of your dreams. You have 3 other adult women working to support you and your kids, while all the other wives are in loveless marriages. I mean, the whole thing is insane. Now, here is one of the most fascinating parts to me when it comes to Robyn and her seemingly hoarding ways of the family resources, because back in their Vegas days, she actually talked about the stigma and the stereotypes that are placed on people who go into collections, because at that time, that's what she was. She was going into collections. No, she was in collections. So watch this.
Because there's sort of this stereotype among people that if you are in collections, then you're lazy and that you are trying to get away with something. And I kind of have felt ashamed and that I have this debt and that is in collections.
All right, so what Robyn said, while that may be true, I agree. Not everyone that goes into collections is lazy. But here's the problem, Robyn. All of the information that has come out about you since that point kind of points to the fact that, I don't know, you are kind of lazy. And I have been avoiding this topic, but it's time to bring it out. We really need to talk about the mystery behind Robyn and if she is working and if she has a job, because she sure likes to throw around the statement, we do this, we do that. Now, me personally, I've really given Robyn the benefit of the doubt when it came to if she had a job behind the scenes or not, because a lot of people said that she didn't work, but here were my thoughts at the time. before, not now, but before, Robyn almost never posts anything on her social medias, and all the other sister wives are on Cameo. She's not. The last time Robyn posted something on Instagram was like in 2019. And she is the sister wife with the least amount of followers. So I was really thinking low-key. I think it's obvious that Robyn knows that the public, at least the majority of the public, really doesn't like her. I think they like all the other sister wives better. So business-wise, business speaking, if I were Robyn, I would have a private business that no one knew about. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of promoting it under your name if everyone hates you? So that was my thought for years. I thought that Robyn had like a secret business with Kody. But that's until Gwendolyn came out recently in October of 2022 and said some things that really made me think differently about the whole thing. I had a major revelation when a viewer asked Gwendolyn during her TikTok if Robyn had a job. And here was her response.
I think. Does Robyn have a job? She runs the My Sister Wives closet thing.
To be honest, you guys, I was kind of hoping Gwendolyn said, oh yeah, you know, Robyn has other businesses behind the scenes. But no, the only thing that Gwendolyn mentioned is that Robyn has the now defunct My Sister Wives closet, you know, the one that hasn't been promoted on Instagram since 2019. And every time you go to the site, this is what I see. We are busy updating the store for you. I mean, well, damn, I didn't know it takes years to update. And not only that, what happens when your actual sister wives closet is actually empty? Because they left the family and they moved. And also, what happens to your other sister wives closet when she actually doesn't own a closet anymore? She has a trailer because the family funds that should have been used to purchase her own house were used on unrelated things, probably for you. I got it. Let's change it from My Sister Wives closet to my closet. Or maybe Robyn's closet. How about that? Because it sure seems like your connection to sister wives and their closets are dropping like flies. So let me backtrack for a second. I want to make a point about Robyn when she was a struggling mother.
Robyn has been off the radar, right? You have in your credit report, you have 3 different last names.
And that was an accident. I wasn't trying to avoid anything. I've been off the radar just because I was trying to sever the ties between me and my ex. I couldn't squeeze any more out to take care of this debt at all. My first priority was the roof over the kids' head, their food in their bellies. I mean, that was it. And electricity. I mean, and I was struggling to make those bills.
And don't get me wrong, I think it's great that any struggling single mother is finally at a place where they don't have to do it alone, nor do they have to worry about providing for their kids. I think it's wonderful, and I don't want to knock that. The problem that I have is that from all appearances, based on the show, and our insider Gwendolyn, who is starting to talk, if it's indeed true that Robyn is only working on My Sister Wives closet, if that is indeed true, Gwendolyn also said that Robyn really doesn't even work her own business. She makes her children do all the work. So why is it that she needs to have the added expense of nannies too?
I think. Does Robyn have a job? She runs the My Sister Wives closet thing. The funny thing is she makes her girls, or she, last I checked, she makes her girls like, this is nice. A lot of the work.
And why does she need $1 million mansion when none of the other wives do? And honestly, I really don't even think that we would all be as annoyed as we are if Robyn didn't try to boast to the public that they are all equally contributing financially. I mean, I'm sorry. Let's just play this clip one more time because it really is unbelievable.
You know, we've always worked together to take care of the whole family. We worked together to buy Christine her house. We worked together to take care of the kids.
Okay, Robyn, how? When? I know the other sister wives do, but what are you doing to contribute? Remember when Kody said his biggest fear was Christine leaving and finding a new boyfriend that leached off the family assets and then took them for everything they had? Remember that was his biggest fear of Christine leaving? I mean, talk about projection.
This is what I'm afraid of. You get a boyfriend who wants some of our money, and between you, your boyfriend, and the state of Utah, I lose any access to Truly and all my money because I've seen it happen to many, many people.
Talk about projection, Kody, because what you described is exactly what's happened with your true love to the other wife's assets. At least by all appearances, unless they have some secret business that we never know about. And yes, I know that recently there was a secret business that was formulated with Robyn with the initials or acronyms with all of her kids' names, but that's recent. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about anything up to the point of season 17. Because from what is out in the public, Robyn really doesn't contribute much. Now, we've already talked about her contribution to the mysterious sister wives closet, which seems pretty much non-existent. But I know what else a lot of you are saying. Well, Robyn's job is that she's part of the show. She's part of the Sister Wives franchise, right? But here's my retort, okay? When it comes to reality stars and reality TV shows, the stars that provide the storylines and keep the story going, they keep the storyline interesting, they are the ones that stick around for more seasons. And they're the ones that get a pay raise, right? Those are the people that get paid more. So I ask you guys, how hard is it to get on camera and really not contribute or provide any insight into your real life or your struggles? What Robyn talks about is how her and Kody are soulmates, how everything's going wonderful with her, how her sister wives are mean to her, but that's really not anything vulnerable about herself. Most of the time when Robyn talks, it's about commenting on the other women in the family. And I'm sorry, but that just isn't really Robyn contributing about her own life and her own struggles into the show. But on the other hand, here you have Christine that had to share intimate details about how Kody was disgusted with her for eating nachos. Mary had to reveal a really embarrassing catfish situation. Both Mary and Christine filmed while they were doing counseling, couples counseling. And there was really embarrassing moments on there, very candid, very intimate. And even Janelle, she divulged her major issues with Mary, and that was hashed out and played out in the show. But never has Robyn really been in any counseling session with any of the women. She's never really revealed any problems as far as her being a contributing factor. Of course, her being the victim, that's a huge storyline, but not anything that puts her in a negative light. Nothing. So I'm sorry, I don't even think she contributes equally on the show. There is not equal effort there, not at all. So from all appearances, what I'm about to talk about, this information is coming from Mary and Janelle's mouths. And according to Janelle, she gave half of her home proceeds from her Las Vegas home sale so that it could be used to pay for Robyn's McMansion in Flagstaff.
We're all in this together.
Honestly, I gave half the proceeds from my house in Vegas to Robyn to help purchase this house that she's in currently. We also at that time pulled a lot of money from the joint family account to help get her into that house.
And based on those numbers, there's multiple reports online that have estimated that it's about approximately $300,000 that Janelle gave to Robyn to pay for her house. But guess what? It doesn't stop there, because Mary also let it slip that she also gave money to Robyn to buy her house.
When I sold my house in Vegas, I gave my money that I made from that house to Robyn so that she could buy her house here in Flagstaff.
So what amount do you think we're talking about here? Because the way Mary's speaking, she made it seem as though she gave all of her proceeds to Robyn. And that had to be a pretty penny. So we're just gonna have to guesstimate here because she didn't give an amount. But I think a good estimate would probably be the same amount that Janelle provided. I mean, if Janelle provided half and it was reportedly around $300,000, then I think that it's a pretty conservative guess to think that Mary contributed about $300,000. So let's just say, for all intents and purposes, let's just say that the other women gave around $600,000 to give to Robyn as a down payment, which would mean she probably had less than a $400,000 loan, which ridiculously reduces her monthly mortgage payment. And the craziest part to me is if Mary and Janelle basically paid off most of your mortgage, Robyn, You would think that their names would be on the deed, because I guess that's what happened in the past, according to Mary.
You know, through the years, we've had multiple people on the homes because in the past, we really have just worked together as a family.
But it's so weird. And maybe it's a coincidence that for years now, most of the marriages have disintegrated. And now it just seems to be the time that Kody and Robyn just happen to go against tradition and put their own names on their McMansion. Isn't the timing so extremely interesting?
We all are owners of the property. Our names are on different pieces of the property. So we actually all do have an asset. My home does have Kody and I's name on it.
Oh, and that's not all, because there are multiple reports online that claim that when Robyn first came into the family, Mary and Janelle paid off $32,000 worth of Robyn's debt. And I know some of you get pissed when I play clips over again, but come on, let's do this one more time because I need it for the dramatic effect, okay? Like, once and done. So with everything we know about the other Sister Wives financing, Robyn's luxurious lifestyle, keep her in mind and just flip what Kody is saying about Christine's fictional boyfriend that's gonna take everything from the family. Let's just flip that and think about if Kody were talking about Robyn and how it affects the other Sister Wives instead of him.
This is what I'm afraid of. You get a boyfriend who wants some of our money, and between you, your boyfriend, and the state of Utah, I lose any access to Truly and all my money because I've seen it happen to many, many people.
And I have to show you guys something else too that I didn't catch the first time. But of course, you guys are my people. You are fantastic. You're amazing. And you guys catch things a lot of times that I do not catch. So our girl Karen commented, anyone catch the sly comment Kody made about wanting to keep Mary around until the land was paid off? And then I responded, oh my gosh, timestamp. Now I didn't get a response, but that's okay because I found the clip and we have to watch it together.
I don't really talk with Mary about it. Anytime I bring it out, she just seems really wishy-washy about it. I don't know what she's thinking, what her intentions are, but she would be the most likely to start building next. And I want that. I want her to feel like she can do that, so she'll be partnering with us on, what we want to accomplish out here, especially getting it paid off.
So can you believe that, guys? So to Kody, Mary's not good enough to love, not good enough to be intimate with, but she sure as hell is good enough to take her money. And that is so infuriating. Oh, and that reminds me, let me finish off that comment thread because another one of our girls, Fifi, commented with this. I know, when I watched it, I was like, huh? Did he just say that? Went back 10 seconds to watch it again, and sure enough, he actually said it. Sadly, I no longer feel badly for Mary because she's pissed with people trying to encourage her to want better for herself. So, sweetie, if you like it, then I love it. Great comment, Fifi. So here we are in Flagstaff. The ship is starting to sink. Sister Wives are jumping ship, aka Christine. And poor Janelle is really out there on her own. And I think she's starting to have some pretty major revelations. The first being that she's starting to realize that Kody really has never had her back or been supportive of any of Janelle's housing situations, especially in Arizona.
The original plan from the very beginning was that we would build on Coyote Pass, but we ran into some real problems when we moved here. So we bought a house for Christine, and then eventually we had to buy a house for Robyn. I know this is bothering Janelle, but I've been invested in this from the very beginning.
Look, Kody has never really been engaged in my housing since we moved here. He was mad when I went from my first rental to my second rental, even though the second rental was much bigger. And he was mad because it wasn't as nice. But you know what? He has a house that he lives in up on the hill with Robyn, and it's really nice. And I have nothing. So I'm trying hard to build myself something here.
And with all the right setbacks.
We won't build until we've done this subdivision. So our next move is to try and do the subdivision.
This is typical Kody. Like, things aren't going awesome. Like, it's been a hard summer. And now all of a sudden, this is all my fault. It's all my problem, and I'm somehow inconveniencing him. It's astounding.
And Janelle is really starting to come to the realization that she is in a horrible place financially. She's basically tied to this property and this land, and it's the only place she legally has any of her nest egg left.
I haven't seen anybody. I don't know what everybody's planning, but I have to keep moving forward on the property. I don't know if it means I'm going to live here alone or what, but my eggs are all in this basket and I'm just moving forward. I have gotten myself in a very stupid position as far as an independent woman. If I were to leave or want to leave right now, I would have no estate. I have nothing to leave to my kids. My hands are completely tied because everything I have asset-wise has everybody else's name on it too.
And what that really means is that legally, if Kody or Robyn's name is on anyone else's remaining property, the power couple legally will own 50% of whatever they have. So Christine was super smart having the property in her own name. And since Mary and Janelle are renting, those houses are not assets at all. So Janelle is really in a sticky situation, and I'm so sorry that she's stuck. And it's kind of like this property is holding her hostage. So here's my question. Is Kody intentionally making this power play? Does he realize what he's doing? Is this strategic? Is he strong-arming both Mary and Janelle to squeeze out whatever he can financially out of them before and if they inevitably decide to leave him? This will set him and Robyn up to be even more financially secure.
We do not have the means to pay off the property. Therefore, we cannot get the lots organized the way we need to. But we can't pay off Coyote Pass by selling off a lot because we need to pay it off so that we can reconfigure it so we get more value out of it. There is so many moving parts to this, and she keeps trying to move forward without coming back to the one main thing that's the main thing. We have to pay off the property.
I want my
We're moving into a rental.
Now, also what we really need to talk about is this, because the whole lot thing was super confusing to me. First it was 4 lots, now it's 5, and I'm telling you, you guys are on fire in the comment section because I read another epic comment from our girl Kimberly who said this. I don't know if anyone caught it, but they dropped the reason they can't build on the Coyote Pass. They can build on it if they were to split it into 4 lots, like I think they originally agreed upon when they got onto the property. But Kody wants to split it into 5 lots, and that's why he keeps saying they can't build on it until it's paid off, or until it's fully theirs to do what they want with. So I'm pretty sure that's why Janelle is so adamant about building her house ASAP, because she's thinking Christine left, so why would we still need 5 lots, especially since we can build now the way it is? I don't know if I'm right, but I felt like no one really caught that, unless I'm misunderstanding the whole thing. Anyway, love the channel. Well, love you, girl. Thanks for the comment, Kim. And I don't know, Kim, if you're right, that makes so much sense. Is this a stall tactic by Kody?
It's astounding.
We want to do the subdivision. The main reason is because we want to get a 5th lot out of this location. So in order for us to divide the properties and get that 5th lot, we'd have to pay it off. Then we were able to start building. Until then, we can't start building.
Well, then things have changed. Things have changed. What are we going to do?
We just have to discuss that with the rest of the, like with Mary and Robyn.
Does Kody sense the writing on the wall that his marriages are crumbling and that the money train is slowly starting to slow down? Is he trying to nickel and dime the remaining wives to dump even more money into the property, which ultimately sets him and his soulmate up if things ever go awry?
Yeah, because there's no longer 5 of us.
Janelle might be wondering if we're still going to have 5 lots because Christine's left. And yes, we would, because that's going to increase our value of the property by 20%.
So we do need to get together and talk about like what their land's going to look like now, I guess.
So, Kim, I love the comment. It totally makes sense because it really hasn't thoroughly been explained on the show. And I hope that it is in the future, because if what Kimberly is saying is true, Janelle, you need to run, and you do not need to dump any more of your own hard-earned money into this property at all.
I'm not asking him to do anything. I'm not asking anyone else to come out here and build. Nobody else has to make any decisions. And I'm not asking him for any money except for the money that the family has pledged to pay off this property when we first bought it. So that's all I'm asking, is for him to honor that commitment, for everybody to prioritize that. And then after that, I don't care. I'm just trying to build something for myself.
And Janelle just kept dropping these information nuggets. And she let us know that at one point, there was enough money to pay off the land, but it was spent on quote unquote other things.
I'm the one who gets the taxes to the accountant. I see how the money was dispersed from the family account. And there was enough money outside of the debts and our daily expenses that was spent on other things. And I'm just saying, if we were prioritizing like we did when we bought other houses, we could pay off the land.
So my question is, what were those things? Janelle, I hope at some point you spill the tea and let us know what you're talking about specifically. But here's one thing I do know, that it wasn't spent on Isabel's surgery. And I don't think it was spent on anything having to do with Mary or Christine. My bet is that it had to do with Robyn. Maybe something in the McMansion or on the nannies that it appears she really doesn't need. And I really believe that is the main cause of the rift going on between Janelle and Robyn. And Janelle has finally admitted that there are a lot of problems with Robyn, and that basically, in so many words, she really doesn't see her as a good sister wife.
Honestly, of all my sister wives, like the real sister wives, the ones who are all married to Kody, Christine was always kind of the heart of that relationship for me. I've struggled with Mary, and we've worked for a lot of years to try to figure ourselves out. And Robyn, there's a lot of problems. But Christine truly is, in my head, the definition of a sister wife.
You know, this reminds me of something Janelle said way back in the early days of her getting her financing for the Vegas properties. And it's actually so relevant to what's going on in her situation today. Listen to what she said then and see how it applies to her life now.
Because I do so much of the family record keeping, and a lot of this is on me now, I have wondered what would happen if I just decided one day I was done and ran away. Because right now, with everything pressing on me, I'm like, maybe I could just run away. But of course, then my sense of responsibility is screaming at me saying, you can't do that.
Well, Janelle girl, we are hoping that you decide to book it and run, and actually run to Utah and be close to Christine. And we all hope that you were able to get some of your hard-earned assets when you do leave, because this is all so heartbreaking for you. And I am so sorry that you were not being supported or respected or loved or having your needs met in the way that, someone else's needs are being met. And you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I have a family account, and the same amount of money is in it as when we bought Robyn's house. And it was okay to deplete at that point to pay for Robyn's house. And I'm like, we did for Robyn. We did for Christine. Why can it not be my turn? Never did Kody say, hey, honey, let's do this. It's a house for you. All Kody ever talked about was how much he was sad that he was losing this house that Christine had. He loved it. He didn't want to lose it. So it sort of felt like he was using me and my buying power to save this house that he loves.
Hashtag free Janelle. Hashtag Janelle, run as fast as you can. And you guys know we are staying on top of this whole situation. Please, if you have not subscribed, check to see if you're subscribed. And if not, hit the subscribe button. Because if you're interested in this, you're going to be interested in all the other stories that we talk about. I'm telling you. There are a slew of other deep dives for you to watch on my channel. And actually, in this video, I'm going to give you 2 playlists to choose from. So if you want to jump down the Sister Wives rabbit hole and learn things that you didn't know off the show, on the show, I mean, we dive deep. Anyone that is part of the IQ fam knows we dive deep. If you're ready, then you need to watch this. There are a slew of deep dives, like Sister Wives deep dives. And if You're ready to look at like just the latest hot topics because we cover so much more than just Sister Wives. Like some of the recents are what's going on 90 Day Fiancé with Kim and Usman. We have the life story of Aaron Carter and the downfall of the Chrisleys and more. So if you're ready for something non-Sister Wives related, go ahead and check out this playlist.